All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a huge revolution that's been happening in Hollywood. But it's not what you think. It's not about bigger, better special effects. Nope. This one's about something way more personal. Your digital identity. And, more importantly, who gets to control it.
I mean, really think about this for a second. If someone, some AI, could make a perfect digital clone of you, your face, your voice, everything, who owns that clone? Is it you? Is it them? And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi plot anymore. This is a very real question that Hollywood had to scramble to answer, and they had to do it fast.
And for a little while there, the answer was, well, it was pretty unsettling. In fact, that single question sparked one of the biggest, most intense fights the industry has seen in a long, long time. We're talking about a full-on battle for the right to control your own digital self.
It seems so obvious, right? It's just common sense. If you're going to use someone's face, you should probably ask them first. But, and this is the crazy part, that wasn't always the case in Hollywood. It took a massive, industry-shaking effort to actually make that the rule. Okay, so before we go any further, let's get on the same page with a key term here. Digital replica. What are we talking about? Basically, it's a digital copy of an actor. Everything, their face, their voice, even their movements and mannerisms. And this is the thing, the asset, that's right at the heart of this whole story.
So what was the catalyst? What was the big turning point that forced everyone's hand? It was a massive industry-stopping conflict, the 2023 actors' strike. And let me tell you, this was not just another fight about paychecks. No, this was a line in the sand. This was about the entire future of what it means to be a performer.
And just look at this timeline. It shows you just how fast everything changed. It's kind of dizzying. In 2023, you have the actors walking out. Then, boom, by the start of 2025, there's a whole new law in California. And then, get this, by the end of that same year, the studios themselves are suing AI companies. It was a really rapid, really dramatic shift.
So what exactly was at the core of this fight? What were the actors so afraid of? Well, it was this. The studios wanted the power to scan an actor just one time and then own and use that digital replica forever in any project they wanted, without asking for consent again and without any extra pay. Yeah.
Now, the result of this whole showdown is actually pretty fascinating, because they didn't just ban AI. That wasn't the goal. Instead, they created a whole new rule book for it. See, the idea was never to stop technology in its tracks, but to make sure it was being used ethically and with permission. It really all comes down to that one word, authorization.
And this right here really shows you the night and day difference. The old way was all about so-called blanket rights. You sign on the dotted line once, and that's it. They could use your likeness forever. But now we're in a completely new world. You need specific consent for every single project. They have to tell you exactly how they're going to use it, and you get paid fairly for every single time it's used.
So let's just break down these new rules, this new framework. It basically stands on 4 really strong pillars. First, you've got written consent for every use. Second, a clear purpose has to be stated right there in the contract. Third, fair pay, every time. And fourth, and this is a really big one, a human being has to actually watch and approve the AI's performance before it ever sees the light of day.
Okay, so it's great to have rules on paper, but how do you actually enforce them? How do you make sure people follow them? Well, the new system is pretty smart. It's built with 3 powerful guardrails that all work together to keep things in check.
All right, guardrail number 1, the contracts themselves. This is the first line of defense. Entertainment lawyers are now writing super specific AI clauses into every single agreement. We're talking details about exactly what can and can't be done with a digital replica, how long those rights last, and even how an actor can pull their consent if they need to.
Next up, guardrail number 2, the law. This isn't just a handshake deal. It's backed by actual legislation. States like California and New York pass laws to close all the sneaky loopholes. For instance, California's AB 2602 basically made those old "we own your face forever" clauses totally illegal. Slam that door shut.
And then there's guardrail number 3, lawsuits. And this, to me, is where it gets really interesting. It's almost like a plot twist. After the studio settled with the actors, what did they do? They turned right around and started suing the big AI companies for using their movies as training data without permission. See, it wasn't just about protecting their own stuff, it was a brilliant move. Once they set up the system of consent and fair pay with their actors, the value of their entire movie library just shot through the roof. Suddenly, they had the same interest as the actors, stopping anyone from using that content for free.
And don't think these are just symbolic lawsuits. We're talking about serious money. A recent settlement in a big copyright case like this hit $1.5 billion. That's billion with a B. So yeah, these legal challenges have some very real, very sharp financial teeth.
So when you put it all together, where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us with a completely new standard for how to use this amazing, powerful technology in a responsible way. You could almost call it the new normal for entertainment, a blueprint for doing AI the right way.
And this checklist here just nails it. It's the new playbook for ethical AI, really. Number 1, ask first. In writing, be specific. 2, pay fairly for every single use. 3, keep humans in the driver's seat for the final decisions. 4, be honest with your audience about what's AI and what's not. And 5, build in a kill switch clause just in case things go off the rails. This is basically the operating manual for how Hollywood works.
So you see, this whole thing isn't about being anti-technology or rejecting the future. Not at all. It's about building a better future. It's really the beginning of an era where incredible innovation and basic human respect can actually go hand in hand.
Look, if there is one single thing you take away from all of this, let it be this idea right here. The AI itself. It was never the problem. The technology wasn't the enemy. The problem was using it without consent. That was it. AI without permission.
It all just boils down to this simple, powerful idea. 3 things that are fundamentally yours and are now protected. Your face, your voice, and your choice.
So, Hollywood had its big fight. They set the new rules for their actors and performers. But that leaves us with one last and maybe the most important question. As this technology seeps into every corner of our lives, not just movies, who's going to set the rules for the rest of us?